I know you guys had to have seen this, but one of the things that we put on here is no PlayStation 5 Pro in 2024, right? Looks like the PlayStation 5 Pro is gonna get delayed. So Tom Henderson is one of the people who broke the rumor or made the rumor, right? So there's this whole discussion about Gamescom and, is it even gonna be a big show? And it's like Gamescom's gonna be big, but opening night live, I'm not sure. And then this dude was like, "Yeah, they'll probably, announce it in September, the PlayStation 5 Pro." And then Tom Henderson says, "If it releases this year." Right? So that became something that a lot of people were running with because I mean, when we look at the situation, they don't have anything to launch with a new console. And if they were going to launch with some of these games, just to be clear, um, when does Horizon come out? Do you know when Lego Horizons come out? Anybody?
September or something, right? Was it like a September, October, something like that?
September. Okay. So September. And then the other one is, not Concord. What's the other little game they have? Astrobot. Is that also in September?
September, right?
Yeah, September.
September, okay.
Bro.
So Lego Horizon, I don't think has an actual announced release date.
Oh, that one is
I
the
don't have a
Astrobot. Then I
date
was
for
thinking
it.
about Astrobot. Then.
Astro's like the 5th or 6th or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It
They
was right
have,
around Stalker.
yeah, Concord in August, and then Astro in September. So
Okay.
Lego Horizons what, for the holidays, or are
So
they
if
holding
it's
off?
launching so close to whenever this so-called PlayStation 5 would be releasing, right? Why would you shoot your load and go early on games? To be clear, we didn't even know were coming, right? Like, nobody outside of Concord, we didn't know about a Lego Horizon. We didn't know about an Astrobot coming. So if there was in fact a PlayStation 5 Pro coming this year, and you only have 2 other games outside of Concord that are dropping for your system, why not hold it? Why not hold it and announce it when you announce the system and release them as launch titles?
True.
It just doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense to, like, fucking the only 2 games you have coming out that you could have potentially got away with marketing because they're kid type games. So you'd be like, "Hey, PlayStation 5 Pro's coming. Look at these new games that we're launching because of the PlayStation 5 Pro as launch titles." They just didn't care, right? They did not do that. So when you see something like this and you start putting things together, it starts to, really feel like it's not going to happen. PlayStation has not acknowledged this thing's existence at all. Like, not even in the slightest, not a nothing, no, like, little subliminal message or nothing, just straight up, like, no acknowledgement of this shit's existence. So it's like, what are they gonna do? What would this even be for? Who would be buying this console?
It's funny how they Photoshop like moderns and shit into this PlayStation 5. Bro, like
Well, the
man.
modems?
Yeah, it looks like a modern. Um bro, I don't know, Sony PlayStation, the way they're moving right now, they might try to bundle the PS5 Pro with Call of Duty. They're so dumb right now, bro. They so backwards that they might go ahead and try to do some dumb like that. I don't see a PlayStation dropping this year. I think they most likely to wait to the holidays of 2025, 2025, because I mean, bro, they got nothing with Astrobot, and I know there's some ponies out there who they they out of their minds, and they're saying that, bro, there's some ponies out there, bro. I'm gonna send you the clip. It's in Spanish, but some pony out there, some high profile Spanish pony or whatever, was saying that Astrobot was better than Super Mario.
Oh
And they,
God.
Oh my
bro, they were
God.
saying stuff like that, bro. Like, and I'm,
Here
bro,
we
he
go.
almost, I heard that, bro, and it almost made me cry. But you know, I'm a flog Latino on top of things, so I'm gonna be like talking about it. Like, bro, it's crazy. Why? Why do you have to compare Astrobot to Super Mario? There's no comparison, man. Seriously, stay off the pony powder, man. Straight up, stay off. Uh, I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know, Hargy. Maybe he can give us, like, you know, with his big brain of his. Maybe he can figure it out how to help PlayStation.
I don't think
I
anybody
mean,
can
he
help
did.
PlayStation.
That's
Uh,
true. He did send me the link to this article here where he goes in and basically says like he doesn't really have anything that suggests that it's not happening this year. That they still have like a deadline for the people who are making the PlayStation 5 Pro versions of their games. Any game after September 15th that is going to be released has to have a PlayStation 5 Pro mode available. Doesn't, and then he says doesn't mean it's coming out on September 16th. So I don't know. It's just it doesn't look like it's happening. And if it was happening and it gets delayed, right? Let's play this scenario out real quick, and then Hargeet, you can just kind of go in whatever direction you want. But if it comes out next year, now you're talking 2025, you got a Pro. 2026, Xbox dropping their new console. That means you're pushing your next PlayStation from 2028 to 2029. And you're going to what? You're going to be what, 3 years behind the next gen console? Come on, man.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
what
Bro,
I
see,
don't know.
money. That's what they are right now with this like old ass games that they keep on
It's
releasing. This is what they are right now. This is the reality of Sony PlayStation. They like years behind. Look at the games that Xbox is dropping. Indiana Jones, bro. Avowed. They dropped Starfield. They dropped Hellblade 2. PlayStation, depending on Square Enix, depending on Baby Steps, depending on Astrobot, depending on Concord, bro. Like, they are not like us, bro. They're not like us. It's simple. This is it. That's it.
I don't know how you really help them. I've never understood the Pro. They've known this for a while that Xbox is not releasing a mid-gen refresh. There's no point. There's nothing they need to compete with. Their console selling. I just don't know what the point would be to add another console just to piss off your fans. Like what what is now some will be enthusiastic about it, but a lot will say, "Hey, I spent $500 to buy this thing and now you're telling me it's obsolete already. Is this going to always happen?" Right? And then you just have to see how many of the customers will actually buy the base console or just wait, and if they're going to keep this pattern up, right? Whereas Xbox said, "Hey, we're just going to give you both at the beginning, right? So if you don't want to spend the money and get to a higher tier, you can just buy the Series S. We're happy you're a customer of ours. Go ahead and buy the Series S, right? If you want the high performance bells and whistles, here's the higher performance one. It costs more. Go spend the money, right? And I think that's a better option than what they did here. I don't know. Yes, it'll probably have more performance. Is it going to be dramatic? No, but it's going to be something. But again, I don't know how much it costs. They haven't been able to reduce the cost of the current console. Are they going to reduce the cost of the current console and come in at 500 for this? Or are they going to keep those prices the same and say you have to pay $600, $700 with a new one? Well, who's going to buy that and why? Like, what are you gaining? And so you'd say, okay, for the 5% that might do this, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Because you're changing your whole design life cycle for the next console. And so this whole thing just seems like a boondoggle around their neck. It's one of the worst things that Jim Ryan approved, in my opinion. It just really is going to hurt them. Xbox didn't do that. And so they can just make the next gen console, right? And that's what they've been doing, right? And so they could come out in 26, 27, right, with a great new next gen console, and they will have to wait it out because they're putting this stupid thing out. and you're gonna have to wait a couple of years just to get the new dev kit out. Like this is, I think this was a mistake. I don't know. I think it will come out this year, but it's a mistake. If they push it even further out, it's a really big mistake because now you're pushing your next gen even further out.
Which would be wild. So do you look THX 1138? What's up, my man? Thank you, bro, for being here. Thank you for that $2 super chat, brother. Says Sony attending Tokyo Game Show this year. PlayStation 5 Pro? Question mark. So they haven't been there in years, right? Like that was the whole big deal before. Like they haven't been to Tokyo Game Show basically for 5 years or so. So
well, since Jim took over.
Yeah. So is this them coming and saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and show the PlayStation 5 Pro there or before then? Like show it and then show more?
But you also have to look at the fact that it's now being run by a Japanese person, and the Japanese person might have a little bit more, I don't know, how do I put this? Like he'll want to do something in Japan instead of just saying everything is done in the West, right? There's going to be a little bit more of a drive for him to say, I want to do things in my country, not just everywhere else. Jim Ryan took over and shut it down. He stopped all the Tokyo Game Show stuff, right? He shut down all the studios. Like that's what. So Jim went the West, and now they said, "Oh, that's nice. We're gonna have the guy running it be in Japan, and he's reporting to the second in command, who's also in Japan." And so you could just say, "Hey, we're returning to what we always did, which is showcase our stuff in our home country," right? I think that's really what this is. They're just coming back to where they should have been. They're trying to re-engage with the market that has said, "Oh, you don't care about us? F off, Sony. We're going to go to Nintendo." And I think that's what they're really doing. Now, could they do the PS5 Pro there? 100%. They 100% could do that. But I think this is really them turning around and saying, we're not going to forego Japan. We're going to go back into Japan full throttle, right? We want to get in to our own home territory and do something instead of just let it go. So I think that's what this is. Jim Ryan literally just said, we're not doing that. He shut down showcases. They've had one or two showcases when Jim Ryan was running PlayStation. He just doesn't care about any of that. And it's like, well, no, you need to create enthusiasm, right? And so you need to be at these things.
They sell themselves, Hargeet.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you need to be on PC. That's why you need to put Lego on freaking the Nintendo Switch.
On the Switch.
And have it in the Nintendo Switch, like the Nintendo Direct. But this is the kind of stuff, right? I think they're realizing they need to re-engage. They need to re-engage with their customers, and they need to go back to Tokyo and say, no, we're still here, and we hear you, and we're gonna engage with our Japanese customer base. So that's what I think this is. I think this is just them going back, right? Re-engaging. But could they announce a PS5 Pro there? 100%. They could. They could also. I don't recall the PS4 Pro, being announced at a TGS event. I remember it being a Cerny thing where he did a separate little, dog and pony show of what the PS4 Pro is going to bring you, right? With checkerboarding, and it'll look great, and it'll upscale everything to 4K. It'll be awesome, even though it was like 2/3 the power of the One X, right? But whatever, it worked. It was fine. It is what it is. But I'm pretty sure they'll have a separate.
Red Dead Redemption would beg to differ.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, it's fair. But I think they'll have a separate little thing that announces it, and then maybe they'll showcase more of it, allow people to play on it at TGS. See what the games look like on the new console, right? So I would totally see that as a potential, but I think they might announce it like a week ahead of time or something like that. And if it's coming out this year, so I don't know that TGS is about that. Sorry, go ahead.
When is Venom what, baby?
When is Venom supposed to release?
Next year. Probably fall of next year, I guess.
So in my opinion, however they want to package it, right? But like if they go ahead, I think that the PlayStation Pro was, like I said before, with the Call of Duty marketing in mind. And that's why Jim was so upset. I think their way to sell it is to hold it till Venom releases and go ahead and market the shit with Venom in it and make a cool ass freaking PlayStation 5 Pro, kind of like how they did the Spider-Man one. and I think that that will sell. I think that people will buy it just to have a freaking Venom PlayStation or to keep it for later on. Is something that Xbox has kind of walked away from, and they make the special ones, and you can kind of like, it's like those giveaways or whatever, you can kind of try to win one. But I think that's what they've got going on. If they hold it and it doesn't release this year, if this is something that's real, go ahead, make the freaking nice ass box, make the freaking PlayStation look dope, with the Venom freaking theme. I think that shit will sell.
I mean, it'll sell to PlayStation people, for sure.
Venom fans that wanna
I mean,
just
we would
freaking
think, but like,
have
look
it.
at look at Spider-Man. Like, there's way more Spider-Man fans than there are Venom fans, and Spider-Man, as much as it obviously did like 10 mil total with the game and the boxes, I mean, it's still not
I
huge,
think they
right?
did something so stupid when they went ahead and released that console. What they did, they made the freaking plates to go ahead and substitute the ones you have on the regular PlayStation. I think that was the problem. That was the dumbest thing to freaking do. Even though it was limited, the amount that they went ahead and made available, it was still something that was available. And even if they went and bought it on eBay, it was still cheaper than buying the actual PlayStation.
Yeah.
So don't do that again.
I mean, listen, the problem is, babe, honestly, all that stuff, as cool as the console might look and all that shit, w they have to show us something dope, and,
I
but,
agree,
like,
but
we
when you think
saw
about it, wouldn't I think that would be a way to push it. If this year, what are they gonna go ahead and throw in there? What are they gonna go ahead and say, "This is the reason why you're buying this"?
well, that would be
Last
the
year
only
worked.
reason for them to delay it, is if they're trying to launch it with Venom, right? If Venom's even fucking like, these are all leaked fucking things, and for all we know, these games could be canceled.
Dude, honestly, that's my problem with them. That's one of my problems with them. Like, the fact that they were making factions for 8 years and it was that easy to say, "You know what? Scratch that, it's not happening." It's supposed to come out what in 3 minutes. This is when we're gonna cancel it. Like that's bull. How can you trust that anything they're making will release? I feel like they've done so much to ruin the name. I don't know how anybody can hang on to anything they say or think that anything that they are planning to do will go ahead and release or take place. The things are guaranteed is that graphic novel and little bullshit like that where they feel like they can go ahead and make more money.
Yeah. But that's not gonna help them in their generation, right?
Agreed.
And that's why that we just had a whole conversation on what gamers are now and who's buying what. Wolverine, RIP,
Yeah.
facts, Cage. We don't even know what's happening with that shit. We don't know if that's gonna see the light of day, bro. Like, that
So
shit is wild.
I think Concord, this mess that just took place right now, will also be listen, they should be woke. They should be awake. They should know exactly what the fuck is happening with their brand and the games that they're making. Seems like they're not getting the messaging, right? I think Concord is going to be a rude awakening to them. I think seeing that beta out there, see that no one gives a flying shit, going ahead. And this is not like PlayStation to go ahead and say, all right, well, now we'll make it available for freaking PS Plus subscribers. Like they went ahead and kind of like took the L every time and they just kept looking more and more stupid. I it's not like them. I think this is going to be a rude awakening for them moving forward. If they were skeptical before, this is going to change everything.
So what
Agreed.
if like Doodle, we take your logic and move it forward, right? The next game they're gonna probably release is Marathon, or maybe somewhere in between is gonna be Fair Games. And neither one of those is really lighting anything up either. So what if
Nope.
Marathon fails? What
Will
happens?
Marathon be releasing, Hargi? Do you even think that after seeing this
I
mess that
don't
took
know.
place, they're gonna keep on throwing money in that direction?
I really have no idea, right? Their most successful game is Destiny 2. But even that, the last DLC for it, Final Shape, I think it did not do well apparently. So if it didn't do well, then what? Like, so there's a lot of question marks there, right? There's a whole, would they take over Bungie? Would they release them? Would they sell them? I don't know what's happening there. And then Fair Games, the trailer we saw, which hasn't shown us any gameplay, or at least we don't think it did, wasn't exactly lighting up any fires. It was kind of a meh, whatever. This looks like Payday. Okay, that's cool. But is that really going to be a big seller for PlayStation? Like, okay, I don't know. So if they just continue to have these losses, what happens? Like, it's just money that's sunk. They can't really afford a lot of losses. They need some wins. What would that be? I don't know. Is
That's
Venom
the
going to sell
problem.
enough?
I don't see any wins in
to
their
make a profit?
future, dog. Like, what?
Don't think so, Hargy.
There's no potential wins in their future. Like, there's not. If they would just put a thing out there that says, "Hey, listen," they should just come out and tell people, like, "Listen, we had to do some different things. We had to reconfigure some of the games we were making, cancel some games, do some things.
Yep.
Here is a look at what we're working on over the next 5 years," or some shit, and just put out the fucking
So they need to
games
do a
that
roadmap,
you're
right? They
making.
need to do a roadmap
There has to be
showcase
something, bro.
to bring energy, right? They have no energy. So here's another add-on effect, right? We just got this NCAA thing, and a whole bunch of Xbox Series S's got sold. Presumably, some of those players were PS4 players who came over, right? So that's that many more players who are not going to play Call of Duty on that platform either. That's money they're not going to get on that platform, right? And when Call of Duty launches this fall as an Xbox IP, you're going to see a similar spike. It's going to happen. They all predicted it. It's very likely, right? So I don't know how much that's going to hurt them. Their estimate was $1.5 billion in loss. I don't think it's going to be that high, but it's going to be high. It's going to be like $500 million to $1 billion. How are they going to sustain that? The whole thing is kind of in trouble. I don't know what their plan is to get rid of that outside of saying what Hiroki Tsutogi is saying. I want to use my IP elsewhere. So I'm going to put these games everywhere. I'm going to take the IPs and put them on TV. I'm going to put them, because how else do you make money? Right. So they have to like remaster things. They have to put their games that were on, PS5 and 4, put them on PC, put them on Switch, put them on Xbox, wherever, try to get money. I think that's their only bet right now, because I don't know how else they make money. Like, they're in trouble. There is a problem going forward. Like, everybody sees on the PlayStation side, sees it's sunshine and roses. I'm like, it's not sunshine and roses, right? There's major problems going into the next couple of years. What are their plans to get rid of that? Right? You don't just lose your entire, senior leadership because everything is hunky dory. No, you do that because they're going in the wrong direction. That's what happened. So it keeps saying the other side's failing. It's like, Phil's been around for a decade now. Everything's working over there. His first move was buy freaking Minecraft, and they've just printed money ever since. It's like, come on. I don't know.